see, we are created in a magnificent vibration, in an absolutely magnificent vibration. Born risk takers. Free. Takes guts. Takes goals.
Where did this guy come from? People don't talk like this. It was amazing.
I really feel like he was way ahead of his time.
What would it be like to get inside the life of Bob Proctor and to follow that journey from the very beginning? Bob became famous because of the movie The Secret. Now people have the opportunity to know what Bob's secret is.
I wasn't very happy, I wasn't very healthy, and I was broke most of the time. He told me if I didn't like the results I was getting in my life, that I was going to have to change me because they were my results. And he said, if you're going to change you, you're going to have to find out something about yourself.
Everything in my life started changing. I mean, fast.
He was willing to put himself at the feet of some mentors who really helped him.
Imagine one of the greatest teachers was also one of the greatest students.
I was earning $4,000 a year at the time, and I owed $6,000. I started studying these ideas.
He studied to a much greater extent than what he said he did.
And I wrote on the card that I was going to have in my possession $25,000. I really didn't believe it was going to happen. 1 year later, I was earning $175,000, and it went well beyond $1 million in a year.
And the only way for him to keep helping other people and getting them to grow was for him to grow himself.
We've got deep reservoirs of talent and ability within us. We can learn to do anything.
When I sat down in a den on Maplewood Lane in Glenview, Illinois, and I wrote on a piece of paper, I will build a company that operates all over the world. I had no idea how that was going to happen. I only knew it was going to happen. And that's the way it works. You won't know how it's going to happen.
From a high school dropout with no business experience and no money to become who he was meant to become.
And he never, ever wavered from his vision of teaching this information to the world.
If you can entertain the idea, you can cause it to move into form. You can make anything happen. Anything. People say, well, there's limits. Well, if that's what you think, then there will be.
I mean, he was just always challenging you to live a better life, to step out and bet on yourself.
He wanted everyone to have the chance to improve their lives the way he had.
Every person in history that got the image of what they wanted, they burned that image into their mind. They refused to accept circumstances.
And he knew that there was a power in all of us that was greater than those circumstances, no matter how daunting they were.
That was the biggest thing that he taught people, that you have a choice, and your circumstances have nothing to do with it.
And that's where Dad was a true master. He was so skilled at focusing on his goal and not giving oxygen to his challenges.
I see only the objective, the obstacle must give way.
When he said, if I could do it, you can do it, from the bottom of his heart, he meant it. The audience, they heard it, but they didn't understand it.
Everybody thinks he was an overnight success. It was a 45-year overnight endeavor.
His life was not easy. He had debts. He had bills to pay that he couldn't pay. He had bad habits that he had to get beyond. But he couldn't tell them about it because then he'd be focusing on it.
He never got discouraged. He always had faith that something good was going to happen.
So the audience is hearing this message, focus on your goal. If I can do it, you can do it, without giving them a glimpse at his darkest challenges.
I think everyone thinks the struggles that they have. Bob Proctor would never have things like that happen to him. Well, certainly he did.
That was the one and only thread that was missing from his message, and it was oddly his greatest strength.
Those of us who really knew him and knew of how severe some of the challenges were really learned a lot from watching Bob overcome those situations.
And I think the only way we can carry on his legacy is to give that insight that he couldn't.
Imagine if you could discover how Bob Proctor moved through those challenges to become, literally, one of the greatest prosperity teachers of all time.
I think one of the reasons Bob Proctor resonated with people of all walks of life around the world is because he made you believe, not in him, but in yourself.
Bob Proctor had the biggest influence on my life out of any human being. He changed the trajectory of my life completely.
He wanted for you what you wanted for you.
He challenged you, and he asked questions, and he got you to really think.
When you watch him, you can feel how much he wants you to get this.
We have had people who were on the verge of taking their lives. Bob was able to get through to them.
He spoke from the heart, always, and there's a feeling of knowing that it was the truth.
These were things that would really change their lives if what Bob said was true, and every bit of it was.
I watch people in the seminars, personality change right in front of my eyes, and all they're doing is starting to see themselves different. They're starting to think different thoughts.
I was in debt to the tune of $10 million. Bob said, the infinite doesn't know any difference between $1 and $100 million. You think it's something. He said, I'll show you how to think differently about this.
I created a vision board. Everything on that board actually happened. It works 100% of the time.
3 months later, my entire life changed. Business tripled.
I have so many goal cards. Every one of them came true.
And so I know this stuff works. It works with every single thing in your life.
Now I'm a multimillionaire. I've created a phenomenal life. And if it wasn't for Bob Proctor, I don't think we'd be sitting here having this conversation right now, to be honest.
You're sitting there watching this and you're thinking, by God, I'm going to change something.
The legacy that Bob left is incredible.
The best part is how it's filtered down to each generation.
Bob's impact on the world, not done yet, not my opinion.
Bob's legacy, it's touched everybody that I've been in association with.
Bob's ripple effect has only really just begun.
Boy, it can't be measured. You know, a ripple effect is something that continues on and on and on.
Then seize this very minute what you can do, or even dream you can do, and begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Only engage and the mind will grow heated. Begin and the work will be completed.
What if you had that opportunity to walk alongside Bob Proctor in this incredible 60-year journey and see how he handled insurmountable problems? Wow, that would be valuable.
What I'm talking about is moving your mind into a higher vibration, developing a higher consciousness, and you can literally attract all the good that you want. And like that, you can start a fire with it.